Hey y'all, welcome to Cardinal Lawn Life. This is your boy with Cardinal Lawn Life. How's it going, lawn monsters? This has been the longest week of lawn care for me. Um, I know it ain't Friday yet. We got a long way up until Friday, but it's halfway here. We just got to keep on trucking it and going at it and doing what we got to do within the business. How's it going, Rolel? Hello. So we just got to keep on trucking, keep on doing what we do within the lawn care season. We're not even halfway through Friday yet. To Friday. So, I mean, it's only Thursday, and here I am going to do my live. It's just been a long week. And like I said, we're not even halfway through. Tomorrow is Friday, but I still got to keep on trucking it and going and going. Um, Today I did the church. I did a big commercial property. Um, and then tomorrow I got a trimming job to do. And then Saturday is our big event. We're doing a wild men sipper, or whatever you call it, for men and boys and stuff like that. So it's like, and I'm gonna say that if you guys are men and boys, you guys are invited to come. It's a men and boys wild game and supper. It's all you can eat. Just come and get it. There's gonna be some giveaways, um, and stuff like that. Just come see us at the church at Bethel Baptist Church out there. Um, we just went. Me and my employee. Shout out goes to Joseph. He kind of helped out today, and it was good. He helped. He gets me around to where I need to be. He actually, not to mention, took me to my sister's yesterday to where I could do her yard. And then, not to mention, he took me today to the big commercial yard. So it beats not having to pedal. Now, if I got jobs in the area, I can pedal my bike to them. But if it's far out, I ain't. He'll be working with me. He'll be a long time term, and he was in training today. So I got to train him up a little bit more, and then of course, we can do what we got to do to where it can get more likely better and better at what he does and helps me with. Um, you know, and he actually took me to another house before he brought me home and stuff like that, and did a little bit more work. And then after that, he dropped me off and went back home so he could read the Bible. And I was actually doing a little bit of that myself a little bit ago. Reading the Bible on my phone. I look up Bibles, different little King James Bibles on my phone and look it up, and do stuff like that, just little things that I know what I can do and what I can't do, and working like the way I do it is, it can be hard at times, but it's not as hard as you think whenever yards can be overgrown and stuff like that. Um, it is what it is. You can make more money than what you are making within a few years or more. It just depends. Now, coworkers and stuff like that, they can be good help, especially if it comes to your employees or coworkers or whatever, which really I'm just looking for employees. I'm not looking for coworkers or anything because my business ain't that big. you know. So it's like, you got to do what you got to do, especially if you're running your business. If you're running your business, it can't be near as bad because you're doing it for your long term, your long term. You're just going to be ongoing. Now, if you look at my profile picture on YouTube here, you'll see a trailer with the contact information, phone number, this and that, and yada yada that I posted. And you'll see on Facebook, if you go to my business page, that's all the stuff that you need to know. I'm going to start putting the pictures that I do on there so people can see the before and afters. It's just, you know, ongoing products. Uh, and stuff like that. Now, when I make the money that I can make to get more t-shirts and stuff made, I'm going to be giving out some, but towards the people that are going to be working with me. So like if Joseph starts working with me, shout out goes to him again. If he starts working with me, he'll get a business shirt. If I have a friend that I went to school with works for me, he'll get a shirt. And just you got to do with that. You got to move up and not down in the world. You got to move up, and a business will start getting bigger and growing more. But with the employee that I had hired, was his name goes to Joseph. Last name goes to Joseph Portals. He's a good fine kid. Um, me and him both go to the same church. So he's just I'm trying to, and he wants to work. He wants to. And eventually, once my business starts growing and taking off, I'll be taking him on to where he can do some work. Um, I can do the mowing, he can do the weed eating and stuff like that. It just, you know, it is what it is, and do what you got to do when it comes to that. And when it comes to more than doing what you're doing now, it can be a little bit more than what people are going to be asking you to do and stuff like that. But you're working with people. You're looking for a customer that can take you on for more work. But you might be a little slow at times. So it is you're just going with it. And like I said, you got to move up, not down. You want to move up in the world. Um, but it can get there. It'll just get there to where you're doing more work for people. But you can't let people stop you if you're doing that type of work for people. See, you want to stick with you want to find a business and then stick with that business. That's what I'm trying. That's what I just did here. I found a business, stuck with it, and now I'm done. I'm not going crazy no more. You know, because really in carpenter work and and stuff like that, I don't see myself doing that. I can see myself doing lawn care and doing all that other stuff. I can't see myself doing what I do from 1,000 years from now. So you want to make sure you're doing more. Now, I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but there is some thunder and pretty much lightning out and some rain. We finally are getting some rain. But I'm going to go out and get some supper for dinner, and I will be right back. Hopefully some people will start coming in here because I'm going to just start chatting about some stuff that is important for what you guys need to know and what you guys don't already have to know. But yeah, I'm on here and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get some food and I'll be right back on here. All right, y'all. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some dinner. All right. I'm here. I'm back. I just had to go get some food. Okay. So, yeah. I'm going to try to hold off on this food until I'm done with my live and then eat. So, but yeah, I just had to get some food because I'm a little hungry. So, I don't know where my buddy Chris is, but hopefully he'll get on within another hour or a minute because, you know, I only got 1 yard to do. I only got 1 yard to do Friday, and then I can come home and enjoy the weekend. But I might come home, drop off the trailer, and go out and look for more business because I want to be working longer days, on Friday. I don't want to just be coming home, you know, real early because I need to be out there working longer days. I don't need to be out there coming home, going to work and then coming home. I need to be out there for longer days. So, what I really, really want to do is work until dark, like sun up, sun down, that type of deal. Okay, but you just want to do what you got to do, and some people they don't know how to make money if they don't have a driver license. Well, in that case, what I do is I have a bike with a trailer on the back, and I go and do my work that way. Okay. But what I want to do, because I only have 1 yard Friday, so I want to be able to go and look for more yards, possibly for Friday, possibly for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And you might say, oh, how do you do that? Well, you could ride around looking for jobs, whether or not you have a trailer on the back. Or if you're working, somebody might stop and be like, hey, how much do you charge? This, that, and the other. So, you kind of want to figure out what you're doing within that month and that day. Now, if you're like my uncle, Jeff Harris, or you say, oh, if I was there, I would do everything. There wouldn't be nothing for you to do. I would do everything all in the same day. There wouldn't be nothing left for you to do. That's just taking I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's taking advantage of work, because it's really not. And then, no, you don't, Chris. So being your own boss is when you gotta do work. You gotta go every day like I do. You gotta go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's what bosses do. And then they take the weekend off. You gotta do what you gotta do. So you gotta kind of cope with that strategy. So when you work, you're going to do what you have to do. When you get into the business, you do what you have to do. Okay? Whether or not you're working, but you're also wanting to cope with that strategy. And you got to do what you got to do in order to do what you got to do. Because whenever you do what you got to do, I was just getting a phone call, but I'm going to return the phone call after this live. Because it could have been something important, but I'm going to do it after this live. I don't want to call him back right in the middle of this, because it's not professional. So what I want to do is you want to do what you got to do when you go to this. What you want to do when you come into the business. You want to make sure you're taking the time. Okay, you don't want to make sure you're rushing through all the jobs. You want to make sure you're taking your time, get all the stuff you need to do, push it out of the way, do what you got to do, and then you get your money and you can take off to your next yard. You don't want to be taking advantage of people to where you do one thing to another step and you do what you got to do, because you're going to need to take as much money as you can to do what you have to do what you have to do. You got to keep in with that business. You got to put whatever. Okay, and here's my step. This is what I'm trying to do. You guys can follow my steps. I don't care. Whatever you want to do is fine. Whatever you want to do with your money is fine. But you can do whatever you want. You can follow, like I said, you can follow my steps, or you can do whatever it is that you're wanting to do with your money. Like if you're wanting to pot a bank or whatever. But this is what I'm doing. I'm putting my money, because I don't want a bank. I don't want a bank. Okay. So what I want to do is I'm going to put my money that I make in savings and put some of it into my business. Get what I need. A lawnmower, like a sit down, zero turn, another hedge trimmer that runs off gas, because as of right now, I got an electric hedge trimmer that runs off an extension cord. As of right now, I got an electric push mower. So the time that I'm trying to make here is going to go towards money, getting the money, going into my savings, and from the savings, put a little bit of money into the savings, put a little bit in the pocket, put a little bit towards into the business. And then, yes, you can get more equipment as time goes on. You don't want to put the money in You don't want to put the money in savings and then go shove it into a store. You don't want to do all that. You want to make the money that you make, put it all in the savings, and then and invest into your business. That's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you're investing into your business. You're doing what you need, and you're not being left accountable for it. Okay, so it's just a one thing after another step that you're doing, or you're following with it. So you're trying to say, man, what are you trying to say here? Are we spending money? Are we taking advantage of the money? No, it's not. You're taking advantage of money. You're not holding it like you're accountable for it. You're going and you're spending it, throwing it all into a store and buying stuff that you may not need, or and I'm gonna tell you, wants and needs are two different things. So, what you want to do is put your money into savings and put some of it towards your business. Like, it's easy to put like $20 in your pocket. It's easy to put $20 in savings. It's easy to put, you know, a $5 bill. It's like if you get a $5 and put enough, and you get $2, like $5, you put that $5 in your pocket, put the other five in savings, or you can put it all in the savings. And then whenever you got enough money and you buy what you want, you put the rest of that in your pocket, but you want it to go towards the business. So it's kind of do what you got to do and follow up with it. So it's easy as you're going. You're doing what you got to do. So you kind of pick and choose your battles here. I'm not staying on here very long just because I got to return this phone call. So I'm gonna go eat anyways. So you guys, I'll probably be back on here. Let's see. I got church Saturday, and they're having a Men and Boys and Fest. So probably sometime Saturday. Sometime Saturday. If I can't make it on here Saturday, I will definitely be on here Sunday. So just keep a lookout, and you guys keep making money, keep growing, and keep going from there. All right. You know what I always say. Peace.